Hi YouTube, it's Kerry. Just checking in with you guys because, well, I've got a bit of time to do it. I'm currently sitting in the car after having seen that Sugar film at the cinemas, and I'm waiting for my husband who is currently playing in a magic tournament. Yes. So I just thought I'd do a bit of a video because there's a few reasons why I'm currently sitting in the car. And one is, well, the weather is awful outside. As you can see, it's raining, it's grey, it's windy, it's not cold because it's actually quite warm here at the moment. That either a storm has been, I think a storm must have blown through when I was in the cinemas because the roads are quite wet, more so than for the amount of rain that's currently falling. And it's quite humid. So I don't really want to be about in that. The other thing is it's a Saturday afternoon downtown Toowoomba, and there is pretty much nothing open except food places and the pubs. And three, I'm having another week where I'm just really not oh, there's another storm coming through. I can hear the thunder. I'm really not comfortable in my skin. Definitely not enough to be out in public, really anywhere on my own. I don't often do things alone, and I find it very difficult to do things on my own, and especially when I'm feeling very uncomfortable about myself. I find those things to be very difficult. I also got out of the movies, which was a film that I really wanted to see, so the motivation to go by myself was there. My husband wasn't that far away, like where he's playing is just a couple of blocks away from the cinemas, so he wasn't far away from where I was. He dropped me off right before the movie finished. Right before the movie started, so I didn't have to sort of sit around by myself or anything like that. So seeing the movie itself wasn't so bad by myself, but once I'd gotten out of the cinema, I actually went to the bathroom and caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror and realised that all the clothes I'm wearing are too big and they look really saggy. Like not just a little bit too big, but really quite too big. So not only do I feel like I'm dressed like a big slob, even though that wasn't really my intention when I donned my overalls today, I don't really feel, I just don't feel comfortable about me. I noticed this was happening sort of even last night. We met with a few friends to get ice cream because it was stinking hot. And I kept just catching glimpses of myself in the mirror, in the reflection of the window. And all I was wearing was a black t-shirt and some black linen drop crotch pants. So fairly inconspicuous, not dressed up, not dressed down, not really wearing anything that would overly draw attention to me. And I just kept seeing myself as a lot smaller than I recognise, which is strange because earlier in the day when I was dressed up for work in a white t-shirt and a red tutu, I kept catching glimpses of myself going, wow, I've really not lost that much weight, or as much weight as I thought. I felt chunky and chubby and just the reflection was just showing fat rolls and loose skin and, you know, all that good stuff that comes from being halfway through the weight loss part of your weight loss surgery journey. So it's weird. I'll go 6 hours in a day feeling fat, and then all of a sudden I just keep looking at myself going, wow, your face looks really thin, your shoulders look really thin, you look smaller than what you think you look. And then I'll put clothes on and actually not realise from the feel of the clothes that they're too big until I see them and go, wow, like, I probably could have gotten rid of these overalls about 10 kilos ago. But yeah, I hit my 6 months last Sunday. This Monday, just gone, would have been my 6 month surge anniversary. And I'm realising that so much about my life has changed, but not a whole lot about what I think of myself has changed. I still have quite a lot of negative self-talk. I have thoughts about myself that I could never vocalize because they are just such horrible things to think about a person, and I would never think them about any other person but myself. My eating habits, while they have changed, obviously, as a result of being sleeved, my thoughts about food haven't changed. My reason for eating is still not about fueling my body, but about feeding my emotions. And the further along I get, the easier it is for me to identify why I'm eating, but still not able to break those habits, I guess. I guess I've got to the point where I'm like, okay, so 6 months has come along. Yes, I've hit my stall. This is normal. So what I eat doesn't matter because this is what's supposed to happen here. And I don't really have any words of wisdom for anybody at this stage in their journey, because, well, I don't think that I'm really wise about this process. Yeah, I've just sort of hit a bit of a rough spot, I guess. Not so much rough. I don't know whether it's coming from a place of assumed failure, that I then become complacent because, well, I had convinced myself before surgery and in the first few weeks following surgery that I was automatically going to fail at this, that this wasn't going to work for me. 38 kilos down, and obviously something has worked, but I've really, my weight loss has really slowed. And I guess I've also hit the point where prior to the thought of surgery, I've hit a weight and a clothing size that was the goal for me. If I could just get to this weight and if I could just fit into these clothes, then I would be happy. I'm not happy, but at the same time, my life is so different now, just as a result of losing the weight that I've lost so far, that I can't be unhappy with the results. I just thought I'd make a video about how I'm thinking and how I'm feeling and where I'm at 6 months post-op. because I think it's a fairly important milestone. I've packed away my scales. I won't be weighing myself again until my 9-month surge anniversary. I really need to work on this head game. This headspace that I'm in is not conducive to being successful at this, and I think it's really something that I need to put my focus on more than the actual weight loss side of things. I hope everybody's having a really good weekend. I think that's really all I have to say. Stay classy. Bye.